From the biggest of sharks to the smallest of fish, join us as we explore 11 of the friendliest sea creatures in the world. Number 11. Whale shark. You might be surprised at first that a shark is on this list, but here's why. It's because despite what Hollywood tells you, not all sharks are evil or hunt humans on a regular basis or come out of tornadoes, but I would hope that one was obvious. Some sharks only attack when provoked, and some don't even attack at all, which brings us to the whale shark. True to its namesake, the whale shark is a massive creature in the oceans. In fact, this is the largest shark species alive in the world today. The largest recorded one is 62 feet. You would think that this would make it a big monster, but it's just the opposite. Just like the whale in its name, it's a very docile creature. More than that, it's a filter feeder, meaning it only eats the tiniest of creatures and takes the nutrients it needs to survive from them without much eating. It'll just open its mouth and let creatures fly in, so to speak. The whale shark is so calm that it'll let humans come up to sit and swim with it without so much as turning away. So, see, not all sharks are bad. Speaking of which, number 10, the nurse shark. Okay, I know. If you look up the nurse shark, you'll see that it's number 4 on the list of creatures most known to attack humans. But because quite simply, the humans deserve it. In its natural habitat, the nurse shark is truly one of the most docile sharks around. Due to this, it's known to move rather slowly through the waters of the world. This, in turn, gives humans a bit of a false sense of security. They'll think that they can touch it or grab it without repercussions, and they find out that's not true at all. So why have it on the list at all if they do that? Because of what they do the other 95% of their lives in regards to humans. Nurse sharks are okay with being captured and tagged by humans as long as they are gentle and respect the shark. Because of this, the nurse shark is actually one of the most monitored sharks in the world today. We keep such good track of them and such a good conservation of them in the waters that they're one of the least threatened sharks in terms of extinction in certain parts of the world, including North America. Can't do that if you can't get close to them without fear. Number 9. Fish. What? This is a fair entry. I know, there's a lot of fish in the sea, pun intended, but I'm talking about the hundreds and thousands of species of little fish that are in the oceans that can't hurt people at all. The ones that fill the aquariums at your local pet store, those fish. Because while it may not seem like they're friendly, they are adaptable and they don't mind being kept in captivity as long as you take care of them. And in the oceans, they can be just as friendly at times, especially if they don't find you threatening in any way. Places like the Great Barrier Reef and various other coral habitats are popular among tourists because they wish to see the more common fish in the world in their natural habitats. Plus, whether you believe it or not, fish are smart. They don't have a 30-second memory like some myths state. They can be trained, and that can bring you even closer together when done right. So it may take time, but you can definitely bring their friendliness meter up. 8. Jellyfish. Okay, I know what you're thinking. You convinced us about sharks, but jellyfish sting. I've watched Finding Nemo. And yeah, jellyfish can be jerks at times and are infamous for having the natural defensive stingers that can be used to ward off predators or other creatures that have gotten too close to them, which definitely includes humans. That being said, there are species of jellyfish that don't have stingers. So if you're next to the right species, you can be next to them, play with them, and they likely won't even try to run. There are various places in the world where you can swim with hundreds of jellyfish without fear of getting hurt. If you don't believe me, look up a place called Jellyfish Lake. It's in the Rock Islands of Palau. Due to an evolution of some sort, the jellyfish in this lake actually don't have any stingers at all, so you can swim with hundreds of them and have no fear, and they're quite friendly when they don't have a means to attack you. It's actually a popular tourist destination nowadays. Cool, huh? Number 7. Manta rays. If we're being honest here, mantas are a really cool sea creature, not the least of which is because of their size, which can get up to 20+ feet in length at their max, and their rather indifferent nature when it comes to humans approaching them. They're totally chill about the prospect of people randomly showing up in their waters. They're so relaxed that the manta rays will sometimes take the initiative to go and engage with humans if they feel so inclined. That's pretty cool. Unlike their stingray brethren, manta rays don't have a means of actually hurting people short of ramming into them, which they could do if they wanted, so don't tempt them. There are tourist destinations in the Bahamas, the Cayman Islands, Spain, the Fiji Islands, Thailand, Indonesia, Hawaii, Western Australia, and the Maldives where you can go into the water and just watch the manta rays swim around and enjoy life. It's one of many popular tourist destinations involving sea creatures. The only warning you need is that while you can swim with the manta rays, don't touch them. Their skin is fragile, but aside from that, have at it and enjoy your time with them. 6. Sea turtles. When you think about a turtle, you're likely thinking of the kind you'd have as a pet. Calm, docile, unless it's a snapper, and, well, slow. In the oceans of the world, the sea turtle doesn't necessarily have the slow part, but they do have a calm and relaxing attitude towards life. And they're so calm that they'll let humans actually grab onto them via their shells underwater and then actually go swimming with them. Which proves just how much they like humans. I mean, would you have someone grab onto you like that unless you were okay with it? Plus, if you remember Finding Nemo, the second reference to that movie in this list by the way, you'll remember that the sea turtles in that movie were basically surfers. Totally. There are many different kinds of sea turtles in the world, and though some are endangered because of humans, many are still out there enjoying life and swimming in the oceans freely. Number 5. Manatees. Manatees are very much the gentle giants of the ocean. They are well loved for their rather calm demeanor, and it doesn't hurt that they're slow-moving and can't exactly run away from humans per se. It's incredibly easy to go up to one, pet it, and then swim with it for a while should you have the urge, which the manatee will happily let you do most of the time. They'll understand that you're not a threat to them. Plus, unlike many creatures of the ocean, manatees never seem to get that riled up. At best, you might scare them away, but the threat of violence is remarkably low, especially since even though they are omnivores, they prefer to eat seagrass and other small plants. Many actually consider swimming with manatees a must-have experience when scuba diving or snorkeling in areas where the creatures are around. The manatees, as well as their cousins, the dugongs, are actually a part of human myth as well. Because of their shapes and the fact that they swim through seaweeds, they're associated with helping create the legends of mermaids. 4. Sea otters. We've had a lot of creatures on this list that may not be deemed as cute by some people. Well, that ends now, because the sea otters have arrived on the list. And honestly, we should be grateful that they like us at all, given that we've hunted them for centuries. The sea otters were hunted to near extinction because of their very thick furs, which were, and still are, very valuable. However, in the 20th century, massive conservation efforts were made to save the sea otter, and through further study, they were shown to be very friendly and cute creatures, which honestly should have been obvious from the start. But better late than never, right? 40 public zoos and aquariums actually house sea otters. It took a little while to observe, but the sea otter is actually rather intelligent despite its appearance at times and its size, of which is only about 4 feet long. They understand when someone is wanting to play with them and have made a sport of a sort of catching a ball and playing with it before returning it to humans. So not only are they friendly, they love to play ball. That's the perfect animal right there. Well, you know, outside of a dog. A great example of this is the relationship they share with their rafts or groups of sea otters. They actually sleep with each other by resting on top of one another, not unlike a raft made of sticks. 2 sea otters were caught on video holding hands once too. It was posted on the internet and got tens of millions of views. So if you don't think that's cute, you're not human, I'm just saying. Number 3. Orca whales. Yep, you knew that Shamu would be on this list, and sure enough, they're close to the top, which is interesting because at one point in time, orcas were known strictly as killer whales and nothing else. This was because of their incredible hunting abilities, which are really impressive, especially when they hunt as a group, and there were sightings of orcas killing humans, but there have been no fatalities in open waters via orcas. So like many things, humanity began to more closely observe the orca whale, and sure enough, they fell in love with the creature. So much so that the orca is the symbol of many things in the human world, including the very literal symbol of a certain water park, and is one of the most recognized sea creatures in the world. This, in turn, led to the reveal that the orcas are very social, don't mind being trained, and love to perform in front of a crowd. SeaWorld and other parks have orcas in their own tanks and often do shows which people adore. There are also whale-watching tours that people also like to partake in. In the open waters, orcas don't mind humans, and they'll even swim with them at times as long as they're not provoked. Humanity has come a long way since the killer whale days, and they're actually fighting really hard to keep the orcas alive in the midst of whaling going on. 2. Humpback whales. While the orcas may be one of the most known whale species in the world, there's no doubt in many people's minds that the friendliest whale in the oceans today is the humpback whale, which has its own interesting history with humans as they were almost hunted to extinction. For real! At one point in time, 90% of the population had been killed by humans until a ban came around to stop the madness. They're still protected to this day despite their numbers recovering. Despite what's been done to them, once we learned how great they are, people fell for the whales. One thing that sets these whales apart from many others is their rather curious nature. They like to observe things that they don't know, and humans definitely qualify in that. During whale-watching tours, friendly humpbacks have been known to come to the ships and actually interact with the people in their own ways, including blowing air from the holes in their head, which is actually nasty when you consider what that blowhole is for, but hey, people dig it apparently. For divers, it's quite an experience to swim with a pack of humpback whales, especially since they typically swim in groups and can be over 50 feet long. While the creatures have a long way to go to be fully recovered, at least they can know that their friendly nature has brought a lot of allies to their side. Number 1. Dolphins. I mean, was there anything else that honestly could have been on the top of this list? Think about it. They're dolphins. They're what a lot of people go to see at aquariums. They love to do tricks, show off, and they'll even let people get up close and kiss them, should you be into that. What's friendlier than that? And to all of that, there's their natural ability to protect life, specifically protect human life. They have been able to discern that human beings were in danger and then rush to their aid in order to save their lives. And it's not just one kind of story, it's many. There have been surfers knocked unconscious by waves, and dolphins help bring them back to shore. There are people who were documented as being saved by dolphins when sharks were bearing down on them, and the stories go on and on. One of the reasons for the most impressive track record is that they're incredibly intelligent. They're also so good at retaining knowledge that they can be easily trained and then pass on that training to other dolphins via their own methods of communication. And to be honest, dolphins can live just about anywhere as long as the water's right. That's very different from sharks and whales who sometimes need very specific conditions to truly thrive. Plus, there was this film named Flipper, and people really started loving dolphins after that. So, regardless of how you look at it, dolphins rule, and they love being with humans most of the time. Thanks for watching, everyone. What did you think of these friendly sea creatures? Have you met any of the ones on our list personally? Do you know another sea creature that is incredibly friendly? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.